you have to let go of the social stigmas that are associated with what success means, right? Success for a lot of people means the ability to acquire wealth, the ability to acquire material things, and for me it was like, well, how much weight does that really carry in my life? Like, does that really make me happy? My name is Amelia Duran, and I'm the co-directora here at Garaje Cultural, which is an arts education center in Southwest Detroit. The population that we intend to service is the immigrant population here in Southwest Detroit. We're always trying to think about what the community would appreciate, what they need to see, what will create an air of like collaboration or unity. I come from a family of artists. My dad is a Latin American folk musician from Chile. And so I think that in some way, shape, or form, art has always been a part of our family and our culture. My mom was also an art teacher within the Detroit public school system for over 20 years. Programs that used to exist in public schools no longer exist because of lack of funding. And so they're not getting a very broad exposure to all the different various forms of art and culture. And so it's important for us to kind of fill those gaps. I'm pretty much born and raised in the city of Detroit, and so I don't know that I would be able to make this work relevant to me anywhere else, because it's very deeply rooted in wanting to uplift the community that I grew up in. So the design of this particular mural that the collective did is a unifying one. Like, it says Somos, which means we are, and then it says Southwest Detroit, and so it's deepening the identity that exists in the community through art. We come from a city where there's been a lack of investment, a lack of attention in terms of local communities. Like, we've had to survive on our own in many ways and do the best that we can with the resources that we have. Detroit won't be the Detroit that we grew up knowing, and that can be a good thing, but if it's done in a way that isn't conducive to making sure that the populations that gave this city its grit and its identity are still here. It was really hard for me for a long time, because I was like, how can I go from having like an income that pays my bills to not having the same amount of income? You know, like, I had to humble myself and say, okay, I can't care about whether or not I'm viewed as someone who's successful. What's making me happy is waking up every day inspired and like energized to do whatever it is that I am trying to accomplish. So I think it's like humility, and then I think it's also like a certain level of like tenacity. Like, I'm challenged by this work, and I'm challenged by it because nobody creates the challenges but me, you know, to a certain extent. Like, I don't like, what I do is contingent on what I want to do, and so that motivates me too, much more than any kind of like monetary gain. And all the other stuff is where you have to get creative and be like, okay, I'm gonna Airbnb, or I'm gonna drive Lyft, or I'm gonna do whatever I have to do in the meantime to hustle to get me to the point where I need to go. Because the reality of it is like, yeah, you can keep doing things part-time after your 9 to 5, but you're gonna burn out. You're gonna burn out because it's not enough time to pursue it adequately.